What is up, guys? Welcome back to El Merengue Culé. We are minutes away from the starting kickoff against Levante, and the lineups have been released. It appears that I was almost perfect in predicting that lineup, with the only difference being Modric is starting over Odegaard. Nacho is actually starting on the right back spot, so it'll be interesting to see how he copes with the offense, with the attackers that are going down that wing, and also to see how much he pushes up. I'm very curious to see how Vini performs compared to his performance last week. So it is time. I will be back at the end of the first half to give you guys my thoughts and opinions on that. For now, I'll see you in a bit. Okay, we are back from the first half. Madrid is currently up 1-0 from a wonderful finish from Vinicius Jr. Yes, the youngster gets himself another goal, second goal back-to-back in 2 games. And honestly, I love to see that.
I'm a little disappointed in Levante in that goal. In the rest of the game, they're playing really well. They're pressing Madrid hard. But in that goal, they were ball watching.
Yeah, they fell asleep.
The box. 3 players just I guess, try not to get a handball. But I feel like if one of those 3 players were to take 2 steps forward, put a little bit of pressure on Vinicius. Vinicius had all the time in the world.
He did have all the time.
It could either A, they could block the shot, or B, add just enough pressure for Vinicius to crumble. And shoot it a bit wide. I just feel like right now, yes, they're up 1-0, but against a bigger team.
No, this wouldn't cut it. This definitely wouldn't cut it against a bigger team. They were definitely just ball watching, trying to focus on trying to just block the ball, cover their parts. And they basically just let Vinicius have a walk in the park with that shot.
I do also want to commend Levante for their pressure. They're not the type of team to just sit back and see where the game takes them. They are taking the game to Madrid.
They right from the get-go, they had really high pressure on them.
Playing with attitude, and it's forced Madrid to also play with attitude. I'm seeing Casemiro.
There's intensity from both sides. Definitely.
Madrid is missing something.
They are. They really are.
Big picture. I can't put my finger on it. They're missing something in the attack.
What I feel like I see is that they're not too sharp right now. Their passing is not too sharp. They're controlling the game, but when it comes to that final third, that final pass, they're lacking something. And even then, they're not creating that many attacks either.
I think at times Benzema is looking to create something, but he has to drag himself out of that position, out of that danger position, create something, and then there's no one there to finish it off.
Yeah, Asensio's not filling in that spot. Vinicius loves to hog that wing, so no one's replacing him, and there's no Jovic this time to guys, I guess, fill that void. I think what could be a potential solution is to bring in a player like Odegaard. I know I'm always stop talking up Odegaard, or potentially like Isco, someone that can provide that transition from the midfield to the offense. Highlight players for me this first half have been Varane and Modric. I think they're playing a wonderful half. Varane doing a great job, and he's not letting any center backs pick his back. And he's getting great tackles in, and Modric is doing a great job dictating the flow of the game. I think we'll definitely want to see if Madrid and Levante can both continue this intensity throughout the second half. See what changes Madrid can make to potentially boost their offense and try to get that final pass. Like I said, I really want to see how Odegaard could impact the team. With that being said, we will be back in that second half. See you guys in a bit. And we are back from a Madrid 2-0 win. What a strange game that was. What a strange game that was. Give me your thoughts before we get started.
Madrid started off the half with a lot of energy. Exactly what they were missing in the first half. Some movement, especially Modric brought a lot of it in the midfield, making runs in from the back, in penetrating forward, allowing Benzema to stay close to the goal and maybe do a 1-2 with him and allow the rhythm to flow well. The wings, Isco and Vinicius Jr. were
Asensio.
Asensio. They were penetrating well, working well together.
Just great off the ball movement, which definitely highlighted the difference from that Madrid in the first half. That's the thing that you were talking about. You're there's something missing, and it was that off the ball movement that, like you just said right now, that penetrating run from Modric, from some center mid, some winger to replace Benzema whenever he dropped back in to receive the ball, and that allowed that created a huge difference and allowed for so many chances for Real Madrid. Guys, within those first 15 minutes, Real Madrid could have been up 4-0, 5. It was crazy. Benzema hit the post. Asensio pressed. Also, like, their pressure was really great.
Yeah.
They were pressing as a team collectively amazing. Like, it was great. I love to see that. So they would win the ball back. There was a time where Asensio wins the ball, falls right to Benzema. He hits it, hits the post. Vinicius Jr. had a little mini like chip that barely goes wide.
Yeah.
Another chance where Benzema crosses it. Vinicius taps it. Modric was actually yelling at him to let him go. To let the ball go, but Vinicius taps it and it barely goes wide. Guys, I was freaking yelling at the TV. I was frustrated because, like, whenever that starts happening, I start to get the feeling that we're missing out on all our opportunities, and we're gonna get punished for all those. And that's kind of very similar to what started happening.
Yeah,
I think this run, we had yet again another amazing Courtois save.
Oh,
another amazing Courtois save. Like, every game he comes up with one huge save.
Yeah.
And that save came right after this whole run of almost goals for Real Madrid. Whenever Levante started to grow a little bit, they took a shot from outside the box, deflects off, I think, Casemiro, and Courtois was already diving. He had already like dove, but he's barely able to stretch his foot out and make that save. And personally, I think that marked like the change.
Exactly. It changed the balance, and then it allowed Levante to grow.
They grew in confidence, and little by little, like I said, they started growing in confidence. However, there came a Madrid goal from Ramos. What did you think of that? It was actually called off by VAR.
So it came from a free kick from Modric. At first, I was like, fuck. I didn't want to. I really thought I was going to tie it. They showed the VAR. He was not offsides.
They called it off for offsides.
He wasn't offsides. Then you look at the replay, and there is a push. The player has jumped. For me, if they're going to call it off, it has to be for the push, not for the offsides.
I personally do agree. I'm not going to try to be that like bandwagon Madridista fan that just is like, oh no, like VAR's out to get us or anything. I do personally think there was a little push from Ramos. So ultimately, I'm not entirely pissed off at the fact that they called off the goal because of that reason. However, the reason that they called off the goal was because of an offsides, and there was no offsides there, which is what pisses me off.
Yeah.
So that's frustrating for me to see. And basically after that, Levante kept growing and growing. And guys, I really felt like Levante was gonna sneak a goal in there, and the game was gonna turn completely upside down. Luckily, Real Madrid, I felt like Zidane took a little too long to make changes, in my opinion.
The players look gassed.
Modric, Valverde, they look really tired. And overall, I mean, you looked at the defense, and we don't really have any center mids. With Toni Kroos injured, there's no center mids to bring on. We only have Odegaard and Isco as center attacking mids. And, I mean, he laid out all his cards on the table, brought in Isco and Odegaard, and, I mean, it seemed to pay off. He was able to gain a little more control because Madrid at that point had lost completely all control of the game. And in those dying minutes, Benzema was able to finally sneak a goal in. Not really reflective of the game. It was just kind of Levante was pushing, going all out to try to get that goal. But Benzema is able to just get basically a 1-on-1 with the goalie, cuts it back dangerously. I thought he was about to mess it up, but is able to bury it in the back of the net. So overall, 2-0 victory for Real Madrid. Do you have any final sensations of this game, of like overall how Real Madrid played? As a Barca fan, how does that make you feel?
As a Barca fan, overall, going into a Clasico again, it's coming up little by little. Like
sneaking in.
You know, Madrid didn't look so comfortable in the beginning part of the second half. They looked great. I don't like to say that, but the first half on its own, and similar to the past 3-4 Madrid games, the first half just hasn't been good. It takes until the second half, until Zidane starts bringing on players, until they actually start going up and playing well, at least putting the ball in the back of the net. Yeah. So
I agree. But what I do feel as a Madrid fan now is I see the team growing a little bit. I think this game was another step ahead. Like, I don't think we regressed. I think every game since that Real Sociedad tie, every game I feel like Real Madrid has improved on something. First it was, Real Madrid is not creating any chances. Then it was like they controlled the game, but they weren't creating any chances. Now the next thing was they're starting to create a little more. Jovic looked good, which by the way, Jovic didn't go in, which I'm kind of confused about that. But I think the scenario of the game didn't really give a chance for him to go in. However, and now we lead to this game where now I would say Real Madrid created a lot of chances, which is really good for us to see. Yeah. The only problem is that now we weren't finishing them. But finishing is something that you can just like it'll start to come to you. You work on it in practice, and it'll start to come to you at some point in the season. So overall, I'm glad to see that Real Madrid started creating a lot more chances. That's not all I have in terms of the analysis for the game. We actually did have 2 people correctly predict the 2-0 score, and so the shout-outs go to Wasi Hater, Heider, I hope I'm pronouncing that right. I'm not too sure. And another one of our top subscribers. He usually always comments in the videos. Hilltop Boys. Good job, boys. 2-0 victory for Real Madrid. There's your shout out. And on to the next one. We're going to be reacting to the Sevilla-Barcelona game. That's actually a relatively pretty big game in terms of La Liga. So we're going to be back later on today. So make sure you stay tuned for that game. If you enjoyed this video, please make sure you hit the like button down below. Hit the subscribe and the notification bell while you're at it. I hope you guys have a wonderful day. We will see you in a couple hours. And for now, ¡Hala Madrid!